your gym's in your garage, you're gonna love this. This door. I've been looking at this door for what seems like forever. It's been a long, cold winter. And while I'm really glad I put the insulation up, which kept my garage usable all winter, now that it's spring, it's time to open this thing up. In fact, let's take a look at what's on the other side of the door right now. Oh yeah, 61 degrees. It's springtime, and that means it's time to start training with the door open. For those of you out there with a basement gym, can't really relate to this. Sorry, Brandon. But for the rest of us who work out in our garage, we know that when summertime comes and we open that garage door, let that fresh air in and the beautiful sun, that brings an extra level to our training. And that's one of my favorite things about training in the summer with the garage door open. Unfortunately, that open garage door brings with it a few problems. Mosquitoes, bugs, flies, wasps, hornets, nosy neighbors, all kinds of stuff that you don't necessarily want in your garage while you're training. So that means that a lot of us are forced to, even though the weather's nice outside, to train with our garage door still closed. Well, today's video is about a way you can avoid that. You can train with your garage door open and keep all that other unwanted stuff out. And that's where this comes in. This is a screen door for your garage. If you've never seen one before, it's a giant piece of screen that goes over the entire opening of your garage, which means that you can open your garage door, let all the fresh air and sunshine in, but keep all that other stuff out. It's easy to put up, inexpensive, and easy to get on Amazon. I'll put a link down below for this particular one, which I'm putting up. Let's take a look at what you get with your kit. First is the screen. Now, a couple things about the kit that you pick out, and I'll put all the links you need down below for everything that I picked out here. But you want to make sure you get a couple of things. Number one, you want nice heavy-duty mesh. Some of these kits are going to be really cheap and they're going to tear. This nice heavy-duty vinyl mesh is going to be durable and sturdy, so if your kids or your pets are going in and out of the door, this is going to hold up. Another thing that's going to be important about this is if you look, there are magnets built in. There's going to be a seam that runs right down the middle of the garage door, and that makes it easy to get in and out of the garage, and then it'll close everything right back up for you automatically. Some of the kits don't have an entry at all, but some of them have an entry without the magnets, so you want to make sure that you have the magnets in there. The next thing you're going to get in your kit is you're going to get a couple of rolls of Velcro. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with this to make sure that this works well based on past experience, but one thing when you're buying your kit, you want something with 4-centimeter Velcro. There's two types of kits you'll see online, one of which has a much narrower strip of Velcro around the outside, and the very first garage screen that I ever put up had a real thin strip, and I can tell you it didn't last very long at all. So the top portion especially needs to be held up by a thicker piece of Velcro, and that's where this comes in. The next thing that you're going to see is another important thing you don't see in all kits, and there's some tie downs here. Now I'm going to add to what comes with this. This particular kit comes with 4, and we're going to add some, and I'll show you how I do that in a second. But there's some tie downs so that if you want to roll the screen up and store it up under the top edge of your garage door so that your cars can come and go without having to disassemble or remove the screen entirely, these are going to hold those up. Some of the kits out there don't have this at all. Instead, they've got this decorative lattice or something else across the top, and that's not going to help you when you want to get the screen out of the way to use your garage as a garage. Now, I don't park my car in the garage, so not a big deal for me, but there are still times where you're going to want to roll this up and get it completely out of the way, and this is going to help you keep it there. You're also going to get a box of little tacks, and what the tacks are for is to further secure the screen up, and I'll show you how we do that when we do the installation portion of the video. Then you're going to get some instructions. Typically these things are imported, so the instructions aren't all that great, so this video is also going to show you the complete step-by-step on how to put this up. They're not terrible instructions, but they're not the greatest in the world either. These are pretty easy to put up. However, there are a couple of basic tools that you'll need. First of all, you're going to need a hammer. Those pins that I showed you a second ago, you're going to need to hammer those in somehow, so obviously you need a hammer. I'm also going to recommend a staple gun and some staples. And then we're also going to need some of these. These are Night Eyes gear ties, and if you're not familiar with these, you need a bunch of these for your garage anyway. I can't tell you how many different ways I use the different sizes that these come in, but we're going to use these to supplement the straps that I showed you. The kit comes with 4. From experience, if you want the the screen to stay rolled up under the door effectively, you're going to need to secure it in more than 4 places. So that's where these are going to come in. I really love using these. I've used them before, and this is a nice little hack to make sure that you have a functional screen that stays rolled up when you need it to. So let's go put this thing up. Step 1 of putting up the screen is making sure that you know A, where you're going to put it, and B, cleaning the surface you're going to connect it to. As far as where you're going to put it, if you've got some width in the frame of your garage door, what I would recommend is installing it a little bit out from where the actual garage door is, especially if your door is metal. As I mentioned, there's some magnets in the seam that will hold it together, and if you install it too close to where your metal door is, those magnets will actually attach to the door, so as you raise and lower your door, it'll kind of get snagged and drag on that, and that's not something that you want. If you install the screen a little bit out from the door as it goes up and down, the magnets will be less likely to attach themselves to the metal door. The next step in this process is going to be a little different than what the instructions say. Now, the instructions will tell you to lay the screen out and then attach this Velcro to the screen itself and then stick the Velcro up. What I found is that's way too big and cumbersome to actually do effectively. You'll need at least 2 or 3 people to do it that way. Plus, it doesn't allow you the ability to further secure the Velcro with the staples like we're going to do. So what I prefer to do is the thicker Velcro is going to go along the top of the door. That's where you need the heavier support. The thinner Velcro is going to go along the side of the door. So I like to actually measure the Velcro, cut it, put it up where it's going to be, secure it with the staples, and then we'll get the screen itself up. If you bought a decent kit, that Velcro is going to be nice and sticky, and at first it's going to seem like that's all you need to do. But over the course of time, cold weather, humidity, heat, and a bunch of other factors are going to all conspire to make that Velcro actually kind of come loose. So what I found based on my past experiences is that you need to take one of these guys, a staple gun, and every 6, 8, 12 inches, just securely attach the Velcro to the frame of the garage. Now, this only works if you've got a wood frame. Don't do this if you've got a metal or a vinyl frame. That's not going to help you. But those metal or vinyl frames are actually going to take that adhesive a little bit better because they're perfectly smooth. With the wood frames is really where this comes in. So let's go take a look at that and I'll show you how we do that. All right, so you can see right here, you've got the Velcro attached to the wall, and really all we want to do is this. So you just put a staple every so often all the way around. I'd put them closer together at the top than on the side, but just make sure they're nicely secured so that they stay up. All right, now the fun part. We're going to put the screen up on the door. Now the trick to this is there's 2 things to keep in mind. Number 1, you're going to lay it out on the ground first so that it's kind of spaced right, and then you're going to put it up on the Velcro. Don't try and do it while it's folded. It's going to be a pain in the butt if you do that. And then the second tip is once we get this up and Velcroed, we're going to go back and we're going to put those tie downs in. The screen up, we're almost done. There's just a couple of finishing touches left. Now, while I was putting that screen up, I thought of a couple of tips that are going to be important for you as you're doing this project. Number 1, make sure you measure your garage door. Measure it twice. These kits are going to come in particular sizes. They can't be made bigger or smaller, and if you have the wrong size, it's not going to work. It's really important that you order the size that fits your garage door. So measure the width and the height accurately before you order your kit. Number 2, I mentioned that you wanted the magnets in the middle. I mentioned that you wanted the tie downs. You also want a kit that has weights at the bottom that hold the door down. If there's no weights along the bottom, then what happens is every time there's a wind or a gust of breeze or something like that, it's going to move that door around, and it's not going to do a great job of keeping the bugs out. Now, on to the finishing touches. As you can see in the video, I put up not only the nylon cloth pieces that are designed to hold it up when you roll up the door, but I also installed those night eyes pieces, and what those are is those are rubber coated, real bendable but stiff and sturdy metal that will allow you to hook it underneath the screen as it's rolled up. But the other thing that they allow you to do, which is really cool in the summertime, is if you get yourself an inexpensive string of lights from Amazon or Target or something like that, those night eyes pieces give you a great place to attach those lights along the upper edge of the door. So you take your screened in garage, put those lights up there, it makes it a real nice, enjoyable place to spend some time in the evening in the summer. As you can see in the video as well, the magnetic enclosure works great. You can come and go, you can enter and leave your garage The door just opens and closes on its own. You don't need to do anything. That's a real nice feature. And like I said, if you install it far enough away from the metal of your garage door, it's not going to stick to the garage door either. So overall, great project. Like I said, keeps the bees out, keeps the wasps and the creepy crawlies out. So sorry to all you basement gym owners out there. I didn't have anything for you this week, but for you garage gym owners, trust me, if you put one of these screens up, it's just going to make your summertime training that much better. So I hope you enjoyed this week's tip. Until next time, I'm Tim with Gym Crafter.